Hello, my name is Sada. I'm with the Sacramento Tree Foundation, and today we're going to show you how to plant a tree.
Start by using a hoe or a shovel to remove the top layer of sod in a 4-foot wide circle. Dispose of any grass in the green waste bin. Before digging a hole, we're going to take the tree out of its pot to find the true height of the root ball and correct any root issues.
Now that we have the tree out of its pot, we're going to find the true root flare, where the trunk flares out and you start seeing the first major roots. It's common for the true root flare to be buried underneath potting soil from when it's in the nursery. That's why it's important for you to get your hands in here and explore, take soil away, and find the first major roots. Now we've arrived at the most important part of our tree planting, root liberation. We want to take this opportunity while the tree is still above ground to correct any possible root issues before we put this tree into its forever home. Vigorously shake the soil loose to look for any circling roots. If we do see any, we will go ahead and correct that by doing some root pruning. If your root ball is really matted, you can use a pruning tool to prune any roots that may be impeding.
Encourage a strong outward growing root system that can support a mature tree by untangling finer roots to point outward and pruning any woody circling roots or those that have formed a hard, distinct elbow. Make 2 cuts, one before the bend so that the remaining root points outward, and another an inch away so they don't reconnect.
So now that we've liberated our root ball, I've identified our true root flare, and we can see that our height of planting is going to be about 9 inches deep. So we're going to go out and dig our hole 9 inches deep. But before we do that, we want to put our tree back into its pot and water it to prevent it from drying out.
Dig a wide, shallow hole only as deep as the root ball, measuring from the root flare down to the bottommost roots, and about 4 times the width, so about 4 feet wide. Check your planting height with one of the stakes. The root flare should be in the middle of the stake just above the soil line. This is a critical step, so adjust your planting hole to get it right.
Now it's time to backfill, so we're going to go ahead and put out all the soil that we took out earlier back in. Do not add any store-bought soil, fertilizers, or amendments.
If your tree can't support itself, use a post pounder or mallet to drive in stakes on opposite sides of the trunk 18 inches away for 6 months to a year and a half until the roots have established and can support the tree on their own.
For our last important step in tree liberation, we're going to free this trunk from the nursery stake. This stake can support it during transportation, but once the tree is in its forever home, it's important to remove this so the trunk can be exposed to wind. That'll help it develop strong root systems and a strong trunk that can support the tree for the rest of its life. Use tie tape to secure the trunk to the stakes. We're going to tie it loosely in one spot so that the tree can still move and sway with the wind. Almost last, but certainly not least, we will add the mulch.
Add natural wood chips in a fluffy donut shape 4 to 6 inches thick. Keep them about 4 inches away from the root flare and check back regularly to make sure this area stays clear of mulch and weeds.
Natural wood chip mulch is the best material that you can provide for your tree. Natural wood chip mulch will keep grass away from your tree, and that will lead your tree to grow much, much faster than if the grass was allowed to be here up to the trunk.
As the final step, water in your new tree with 10 gallons of water, applied slowly so it can soak into the soil. A 5-gallon bucket with a hole drilled in the bottom is a cheap and easy way to do this. Young trees need help getting established. That's why we need you to water them consistently for the first few years of their lives. 2 to 3 times per week, give your tree 5 to 10 gallons of water at a time, for a total of 10 to 15 gallons each week. For tips on how to care for your tree after it's planted, visit sactree.com.